Wow, I sure do love having interests. It's just so fun enjoying something and getting to express my love for said thing in so many different ways. Like art! I sure am glad people are so accepting of others having fun and enjoying the things that they like.
Three! You're under arrest for respectfully enjoying the things that you like!
Oh no! Is this the fabled opinion police?
No, this is the regular police. We just had nothing better to do.
Being a fan of games. It's pretty cool. Different people like different kinds of stuff, so our interest in games can vary widely from one another. Me, I like RPGs, platformers, and collectathons, indie games, and usually stuff that's pretty niche or just different compared to most other games you see coming out. Like, take Deltarune for example. I love how wacky, over-the-top, and even unhinged it can be at times, all while having a super fun and unique battle system and an underlying, almost eerie tone to the whole game. Underneath these wacky RPG shenanigans is something much more creepy that, as of Chapter 2, we don't fully understand yet. Speaking of Chapter 2, that's when I initially got into the game, mainly because of my obsession over this lovely chap right here.
Too many excess vacation days, why don't you take a vacation straight to hell?
I had a lot of fun seeing different clips, memes, and artwork of all the different stuff from this game, so imagine just how much fun I ended up having when I'd finally play the game a year after getting super into it.
No, it's not what it looks like.
It's exactly what it looks like. Admit it before I snap your sorry twig of a neck and make you admit it, you good for nothing twat.
Okay, fine, I'll admit it. I was a fan of a game that I'd never played before.
Being a fan of games you've never played. It sounds really f***ing weird when you say it out loud, but I promise it's not as strange as you think. You see, with most other forms of media, I'd agree, that sounds a bit odd. How can you be a fan of a movie or TV show without ever watching it first, or even just watching clips or something from it?
Hey, it was simple chemistry, Mr. White.
That's where video games' hidden talent comes into play, because unlike a lot of other forms of media, there isn't just one way to experience a game. Actually, playing a game is obviously the main way to go about experiencing something in this medium, but you also have playthroughs and videos online, clips, artwork, and the fan bases surrounding them. You think every single person who got excited over who the next Smash character was actually played Smash Bros? Oh boy! I wonder who the next Smash character's gonna be!
Choose your character!
You cocky cock!
To start off, why don't I talk about a game I know a lot of people have been criticized for being a fan of. Persona 5! I probably just lost so many people watching this, oh man. Look, I know what a lot of people online can be like with this game.
Man, this music's kinda giving me some Persona vibes.
But trust me, I think this is a good example. Persona 5 is a long game. Not everyone has time to dedicate towards a game like this, so I know many decide to just experience the game through Let's Plays and streams instead. And I get that's a very point and laugh kind of subject online, but experiencing a game through playthroughs, especially one as long as a game in the Persona series, is completely fine. You don't necessarily have to play a game in order to experience it. You don't have to play it to get sucked into its world, become invested in its plot and characters. You can watch someone else play a game and experience it through them. Your experience with that game is obviously going to be very different than if you'd played it yourself, but you can still be a fan of it without actually physically having held the controller and made your silly little Fortnite man do the Gangnam Style. Not convinced? Okay, well then how about I bring out the hard hitter? If you can't be a fan of a game or a game series without having played it yourself, then let me raise you up one. Five Nights at Freddy's.
We've been bamboozled, japed, hoodwinked, and quite possibly in the ass.
Five Nights at Freddy's is a really unique series because if it weren't for its large, dedicated fan base and all of the people talking about the game online, it would never have reached the heights that it did. It's had such a far reach and stranglehold on internet culture these past few years that a lot of the people that got interested in this series have probably never actually played one of the games. I mean, just take my case. I was one of the kids who got sucked into the FNAF craze back in 2014.
This is not possible. Now look, Five Nights at Freddy's. Five.
Can't like.
Well, it's not called that, but it's called.
I'm gonna biff it.
Not happening, buddy. But I only really ever played the second game. I mean, I owned 4, but I was too stupid to get past night 2 in that game, so I don't really think that one counts. I mainly just got my enjoyment from the series from drawing fan art, listening to theories, and watching videos online. Probably like most other people did. He's coming? And I think this is the case when it comes to a lot of viral games like FNAF. If I could think of other games that people get super into but haven't necessarily played themselves, my mind jumps to games like Doki Doki Literature Club, Undertale, Deltarune, and I'd even say games like Earthbound and Mother 3. Hell, the whole reason the Mother series is popular as it is because of word of mouth online. It wasn't just a cult classic, it was the cult classic. Not a whole lot of people had played or even heard of it prior to the age of the internet, so when word spread of just how good it was, a lot of people started getting really interested in the game despite not having the means of playing it themselves. Earthbound and the Mother series as a whole are probably some of the most influential and popular RPGs out there now and have gone on to inspire countless other projects, two of the most notable ones being Undertale and Deltarune. Which, to jump back to it now that I've mentioned it, yes, for someone who didn't play Deltarune until December 2022, I was stupidly invested in this game. I drew artwork, made sculptures, for f***'s sake, I went as Spampton for Halloween in 2021. Granted, I did play Undertale beforehand, but the effect Deltarune had on me probably also applies to others with Undertale for them. Honestly, a lot of the fun of this game after my playthrough was over was going online and seeing how other people chose to play the game themselves. I'd never even dream of playing the genocide route myself. I feel way too bad I couldn't do it. You're telling me I have to hurt my boy? Cause I'm not gonna hurt my boy! But I've still watched others play it. A fact that Toby Fox predicted and called everyone out on, thanks. In my eyes, that's just the unique power that video games hold over other forms of media. Sometimes getting invested in everything surrounding a game can be just as, if not more fun or interesting than playing the game itself. And if that means getting super into a game you've only ever watched a Let's Play of or a stream series of, then so be it. More power to ya. I've never played Guilty Gear Strive, but for some reason, I've just been getting really into it lately. I've been watching videos, streams, hell, I've even started learning about the series lore and all of Saul Badman's wacky friends. Why does he kill his wife so many times? What the f? As for the game itself, I think its music is fantastic, and I absolutely love the character designs here.
Check the packs. Man, I'm pretty. Hey there, baby.
The art direction for this game is absolutely on point, because outside of these fighters having some of the sickest designs I've ever seen in any game before, the cel-shaded art style makes everything look so pretty, and the animations on these characters too, oh my god! Why do you think half the internet loves Bridget so much despite not actually playing the game? She's got such a cool character design, like what the f***? This is sick! There's so much thought put into it here. And to top it all off, she's a trans icon. You'll love to f***ing see it. Guilty Gear Strive, and Bridget, is honestly the reason I thought of this video in the first place. I'm starting to get stupidly invested and interested in this game, despite not once playing any entry in the series before. And I thought, well, if I've been feeling this way towards Strive, and I've felt this way in the past towards other games, then starting to become a fan of a game or game series you've never played could probably apply to a lot of other games for a lot of other people.
Okay guys, so to prove to you that I'm not a fake fan of Guilty Gear, I wanted to show you all my original OC character, the Guiltier Gear. You see, he's called that because... Shut up, I'm making a video! You see, he's called that because not only has he killed his wife on multiple occasions, but he also shitted his pants in public.
When I say that I'm a fan of Guilty Gear, I obviously don't mean, oh yeah, I love the gameplay mechanics. I think they feel great to use. Because obviously, I haven't played it. I don't know what the f it feels like to play outside of speculation from watching gameplay. I'd more so say that I'm a fan of Guilty Gear because of the things surrounding it. Like I mentioned before, the music, characters, world, and generally just the whole vibe surrounding the game. I think it's really cool. And that mentality, I guess, applies to all of the games I've mentioned and am going to mention. You don't need to be a fan of how a game plays and feels in order to be a fan of said game or series, if that makes sense. Except for, like, visual novels, I don't really think watching someone else play one is gonna be very different than if you did it yourself. The game is all fucking text.
It's not even the first print edition of that literary work. You're a fake fan!
When it comes to becoming a fan of a game through Let's Plays and videos though, my mind goes back to when I was younger. I watched a bunch of different videos on different games as a kid, not all of which I owned. I was a wee child. I didn't have a disposable income from like a part-time job or anything, so I obviously couldn't get new games super often. Like, I played the first 2 Plants vs. Zombies games to death as a kid, and I really wanted to play Garden Warfare, but I wasn't allowed because, God darn! I'm 10 and it's an online game! Stranger danger strikes again! I eventually convinced, annoyed my parents into letting me get the game, what would be my first real online-focused game, but up until that point, I only ever watched other people play it through YouTube videos or staring at the demo playing at GameStop like a starved animal. And now that I'm thinking about it, I had this exact same experience with one other game that I've come to love as one of my favorites of all time, and I'm sure many other kids had a very similar experience with. My childhood obsession with Minecraft. If FNAF struck the internet like a tidal wave, then Minecraft had a whole ass hurricane warning for it. Even over a decade later, Minecraft's grip on internet culture has not loosened in the slightest. It's a game where you can do anything you want, explore to your heart's content, build whatever comes to your imagination, play alone, play with friends. It's the ultimate sandbox game because there really is no limit to what you can do here. For a long while, I didn't have any way of playing Minecraft outside from like the free demo on the App Store, so again, I chose to experience the game vicariously through other people playing it. Let's be honest with ourselves though, how many people didn't do this at some point? How many kids didn't have a device that could play Minecraft or weren't able to afford the game for a hot minute, so they watched an orange cat eat cake instead?
It was me, I did that.
Minecraft was the game that defined my childhood, and my experience with it all started out by watching as a fan from afar. You don't need to validate your enjoyment of something that you like to someone else. You can just enjoy things and have fun with them, even if it's a game that you haven't necessarily played. You can just like things. I know this might be hard to believe online, but you're allowed to like things and not be overly critical. You can like. I hate. You know what? No. I don't hate because it's okay to enjoy things and have fun as long as you're being respectful about it. That's the moral of the story! I mean, let's be honest, how many of us have seen footage of a game before and knew before even playing it, I'm gonna love the shit out of this game, no doubts in my mind. And while it might have taken a while to actually get around to playing it yourself, you were still finding ways to enjoy the game and get excited for the day that you do eventually play it. So in conclusion, is it a fair thing to say that someone can be a fan of a game without necessarily having played it? Yeah, at least in my opinion. Video games are an interesting form of art because there are so many working pieces to it, so many different parts of it to enjoy, and more than just one way to experience it and what it has to offer.
I want Winnie! I'm a Santa Claus. I already have to give. I just can't open the book.
So is there like a reason for all this? Am I trying to make some sort of point, a statement? Am I trying to change the way that the internet perceives the video game medium at large? No, I wouldn't really think too deep about it. I just really wanted to talk about Guilty Gear. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
Opinion detected!